New York Democrats pushing a new equal rights amendment to the state constitution, to the New York state constitution, granting legal rights to illegal immigrants. The amendment stating, quote, equal rights extend to every person to ensure an inclusive society with equal opportunity for personal fulfillment and respect for everyone in New York and all their diversity. The bill claiming rights shouldn't be denied based on national origin or citizenship. Here to debate is GOP councilman for New York City, Joe Borelli on the end, and New York City's Democratic Council member Keith Powers. Keith, you're shaking your head. Yes, you love this bill.
I think it's great. I mean,
Why?
How can you read the language and not support it?
Because there are a lot of taxpayers that are paying for these illegals to be here. There are a lot of people on the list that have done it the right way, and they're upset about it. What do you say to that?
Sure, but this is actually just ensuring that everybody has the right to not be discriminated against. In fact, we already have this in New York City and New York state law. We have a human rights law that already protects people from discrimination. This is only adding it into the Constitution of New York State, which is, in my opinion, grossly needed of modernization. For instance, age and gender aren't protected categories either in the New York State Constitution. So I think we would all agree that the Constitution should be updated, and this is actually only putting those protections that already exist for New Yorkers into the state Constitution.
Okay, Joe?
Well, you don't need age and gender protected in our state Constitution because thankfully we already have a federal Constitution that protects people of all protected classes, age, gender, sex, orientation, anything like that. We already have federal and city and state laws that protect people.
Why waste time?
This is fundamentally about giving citizenship rights to people who are not citizens. This is everything from in-state tuition benefits to whether even private companies have the ability, or the local town police department has the ability to not hire someone based on their citizenship status. This is fundamentally what happens when the resist Trump agenda gets machinated at state and local levels.
What about the military status? I know some people are upset about that.
Well, there was some question on whether we should include the military status as a protected class. Actually, New York City right now has that because we have seen cases of housing and employment discrimination in this city. That was left out of this bill because it's not a priority.
So when we hear Joe bring up the idea of paying for tuition for illegal immigrants and paying for their room and board, people who are tax-paying citizens don't even get that. So why do they get more rights?
It's in fact not doing that. That's stretching the law to its furthest point.
So you say that's not happening. You say it is.
Well, if you have a constitutional provision, the obvious next step is that people will file lawsuits and say that I am protected under this class.
So it could lead to that, is what you're saying.
But that's exactly the point. First of all, I'm proud to carry to carry support for this bill, and I'm proud to support an agenda that supports everybody and provides equal rights to everybody and just make sure that nobody gets discriminated against. Let me actually take you a step in a different direction, which is we can walk to Times Square right now and we can tell anybody who's visiting New York City that they can be discriminated against. That is I represent Times Square, I represent the United Nations, I represent big parts of New York City where people come to visit every single day, and we are telling them that they can't rent a hotel or they can't get a cup of coffee, they can't enjoy New York City.
If you look at the facts, though, if you have done it the right way, if you're a legal citizen, the Constitution, the federal laws, they protect you. If you're here illegally, they don't. So why should you have equal rights?
We're not changing the federal law, by the way, and we're not creating a path to citizenship. We don't have the ability to do that, but we are telling people, back to the point I was just making, who are even here visiting every single day. We have 50 million visitors a year. We are telling people just blocks away in Times Square, for instance, that they can be discriminated against and that they have no protection. I just totally disagree with that, and I think we should be actually standing up for every single person in the state.
Joe, last word.
This is not even exclusively for undocumented immigrants. This would cover every overarching person that's here, from British expats to tourists to everyone. This is extending something sacred, our citizenship rights, which could be voting at some point in local and municipal elections. This is extending those rights to people who have not gone about the process in the right way to earn and become legal citizens.
All right. Thank you, guys. Good debate.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Should government employees be forced to pay union dues? The Supreme Court is taking up the case, and the man who brought it there is going to join us live next. Plus,